Okay, so we'll start our lesson today. So please, if you, due to any reason, if you can't hear, so just let me know. So I'll try my best, to reset. Okay, welcome everyone. We'll start our lesson today. So today we are starting our new unit, Unit 5. Those are not joining, so please just go through. I'll upload the book as well for you to go through the things which we're supposed to. So Unit 5, Business Law. So today we are going to discuss about the business law, different sort of legislation. So slightly in different country, maybe slightly different terminology. I'll try my best to explain you. So we are using the business law in terms of the UK and EU legislation, but you can look around in your own country because slightly different legislation. But normally we'll go through the contract law. We'll go through the so we'll go. Hello, welcome Manu. So so hello, welcome Manu. You okay? Yeah. So okay, we'll start. So Daniel is there as well. So we'll start. So today we are starting a new unit, which is Unit 5, Business Law, and we have 4 learning outcome which we'll go through. So different country, maybe slightly legislation are different terminology, but the legislation we are using for this assignment perspective and the unit which more cover EU and UK legislation. First fellow is understanding type of UK laws, legal system and contract law and their impact on the international business. So that's really we need to achieve LO1 today our lesson. Differentiate between different types of the law in the UK, evaluate the impact of EU and UK contract law on businesses, and explain intellectual property rights governing the trademark and the brand, so which we'll go through in details. Okay, understand the main concept and the principal consumer company laws, which is our learning outcome 2, which we'll go through tomorrow lesson. And next week we'll go through understand the employment law, which is quite crucial. It's good to know because we all working in different companies and we'll know our rights and responsibilities and employment law as well. So understand the competition and the right to compete in the UK. So what is the competition laws, how we can, because in some country maybe monopoly, but other countries, some countries monopoly is an illegal thing. So which we'll go through in detail. So LO1, please when you do LO1 and the assessment criteria 1.1, 1.2, so we're supposed to address and we're supposed to learn type of statutory laws, which we'll go through, common laws, which we'll go through, equity, including the cases, principal, remedies, common laws, remedies, damages, court practices, courting system, burden of proof, type of business organization, basic act, regulation, govern, contract law. So huge element with under this learning outcome, which will go through the contract law, discharge, breach of contract, international trade and exchange rates, term of condition, warranties, nominate terms, so contractual, all these, terminologies will try our best to be explained and we'll try to meet or address, during our this learning outcome. If any question, do not hesitate. Either drop me email and you can ask me during the lessons as well. Okay, we'll go through this. So you all know me, I know you, so we're not going through basic introduction. So we'll start. sorry, okay. That's, so today lesson we are going to learn about the contract law and the legislations. Okay. So, joke, do you promise to pay the bills and the whole bill and nothing but the bills? This is just a joke being picked from newspapers. That's law is all about. So first we are going to discuss about the contract law. Anybody knows about the contract law? What is meant by contract law? Yes, Manu?
The laws which should be applied on the contracts, like when we sign up or when we join the company for the job.
Okay, it can be any sort of the contract we need. They're supposed to be, especially when we look in the business in terms of the Sales Goods Act and things as well. So we looking the contract is mean somebody is offering and somebody is accepting. So there need to be offer and acceptance. So contract may be divided into two broad classes: specialty contract and simple. So which will go through and for the slides. So contract is there need to be offer and acceptance. A contract has been defined as a legal binding. So what is a contract? By law we have to legally bind, we supposed to deliver. Legally we are agree what we supposed to do. So is a legal thing. So if we are selling and offering illegal thing, so that's not come under the contract law. So legal binding agreement are in the word of various authors a promise or the set of promises which the law will be enforced. We promise we'll deliver the goods. You promise we'll make the payment. We promise we'll do this. We promise we'll do the repairing services. So that become a contract. Is it contract need to be written? What do you think?
Yeah.
Yes, Manur, is it Daniel? Do we really need to be a contract written contract?
Yes.
Or can be a verbal contract?
Better to be a written contract.
Written contract is a better, but it's not a compulsory contract need to be written. If we will verbally agree, it's become a contract. As long offer and acceptance is there. Consideration and legally we bind. Contract nowadays it can be a verbal contract as well. It's not compulsory to be written. Okay, contract is a legal binding agreement. As such, it is an agreement that the law will enforce. Contract may be written down on the basis of the verbal agreement. What is meant by the law will enforce is that where the contract exists, one or two parties involved in the agreement may start a court action. In other seems to have a broken agreement in the way. So what is the contract? Is a legal binding agreement, and the agreement is the law is in force, and contract can be written or the based on the verbal agreement. So it's not a compulsory to be written. Nature of the contract. The law sees the contract as a pure and is a blind to detail of subject, matters and the person. It does not ask who buy, who sell, and what is bought and sold. So contract law is where which is the left in the law relating to the agreement. So we looking the agreement more. Who is so contract is mean offer and acceptance. So we'll go through further slide that will make more sense. So ingredient of a contract, what consists of the there must be an offer and acceptance. So someone is selling car, other person is accepting, it's become a contract. If other one is not accepting it, it won't be a contract. So contract only will be, it can be open offer, but it's not a contract. Like, advertising the product, it's not a contract, it's an offer. So somebody accepted the offer and it's become a contract. There must be a consideration, accept the certain contract under seal and intention to keep the promise. consideration. When will do, what will do, and when will do. Must be intention to create a legal relations. There is a requirement of the written formalities in some cases, and the parties must have a capacity to contract. What is meant by capacity to contract? Manur, Daniel, anyone?
No idea.
Okay, capacity means sound-minded. Sound-minded, like if you're drunk and you lose you're not in the right mind, so it's not a contract. Yes, you're underage and somebody say okay, sign it. You're a disabled and you don't have a fully mind functioning. It won't be a contract. It can be void. So capacity, you have a in a capacity of contract. There must be genuine yesness of the consent by the parties to the contract. Yes, it need to be genuine. The contract must be legal and possible. So if somebody say we'll bring the stars for you, so that's not a contract because that can't be possible. So something is impossible can't be in a contract. So law of contract. Law of contract is concerned with answering the following question. What is a contract? What is a contract formed? What is the purpose of the contract? What are the obligations of the parties to a contract? What's happen if the either party break the agreement? What will happen then if the party not deliver the car? If the party not deliver the goods on time? If the party not perform the task which they're supposed to be, like a construction? So what will happen then? If somebody break the contract, what will be happen then?
They will have to pay the penalties of what according to the law.
Yes. So there will be a penalties, and other party have a right to claim the remedies. Yes, some the parties need to pay, which will go through. Two exemption in the law: freedom of contract, equality of the bargaining. Yes, both parties have equalities. The parties are deemed to be equally bargaining strength. Yes, so both parties, can bargain it if they want to. So legal framework, these are the exemption to produce acceptable legal framework for the regulation of the business transaction. Parliament too played a key part codifying the part of the common law. I'll go through in the next. Common law, which is called civil law or the case laws. Common law is mean the case laws and we'll go through the criminal law. So contract normally it's come under the common law, which is we call law. Like you normally we're not charging individual as a criminal offense. They have to pay the damages. So we use the word damages. Yes, if you don't fulfill, you have to pay the penalty damage. Any question?
No.
Okay. In EU, we have a contract is called Sales Good Act. Sales Good Act contract is the act says good need to be fit for purpose. If somebody say this cream, this face cream will help you, protect you, and this contain this in it. If that product not contain in it, so that's not meeting the definition of the Sales Good Act. So Sales Good Act mean goods need to be fit for purpose. So like we are buying vacuum cleaner and the Hoover is not working properly for the cleaning purpose, is not functioning. So it means the goods is not fit for purpose. As a customer, we have a right to return under the Sales Good Act. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So we have a right to our money back from the supplier of the goods. So unfair contract is unfairly, some contract term is need to be fairly. Unfair contract term we can't include, it automatically will be eliminated because the Consumer Credit Act, can we give money or we can lend money to everyone?
No.
No. It's a Consumer Act says if somebody give money to somebody, they have to check the ability, they have ability to pay back them.
Yeah.
So we do the credit check, is called the Consumer Credit Act 1974 in the UK. So circumstances, formalities required, contract that must be made by deed, contract that must be written but not necessary by deeds, contract must be evidence in written, can be in evidence in written. 7 essential valid contract. So these to be make contract valid. First, agreement. Agreement is form one party accept the offer of another. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Second is consideration. The parties must show that their agreement is a part of bargaining. Each side must promise to give or do something for the others. Consideration, exchange, transaction. Yes, we will work for you, we'll construct house, we'll do cleaning. That's a and you have to pay this money. So that's a consideration need to be, we are bargaining, we are exchanging. So intention, the law will concern itself with the purely domestic as the social arrangement. The parties intended their agreement to have a legal consequences. So intention, if they don't do it, they have to pay the damages. They have to, so intention need to be formed. In some cases, certain formalities that is written and must be observed, but it's not compulsory to be written. Capacity, the party must be legally capable to entering into contract. Under 18 can't be entered into the contract. If you want to be contract mobile, you can't buy it. Some contract under 16 you can't. So genuine of the consent, the agreement must have entered into freely and involved in the meeting of minds. So legality, the purpose of the agreement must not be illegal, contrary to the public policy. Delivering drugs, yes, illegal medicine. So that's not come under the contract. Does not meet the definition of the contract. Okay. Bilateral contract. Contract can be unilateral and bilateral. So which is a part of under the contract law. Bilateral is a contract in which each party takes an obligation and usually promising to others something. That's a bilateral. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, unilateral contract arise where only one party assume an obligation under the contract. Like council have a liability or responsibility to provide the services for their residents. So that can be a unilateral contract because one party is have a responsibility to look after others. Yes. Example could be promising to pay someone a reward should they find something you have lost. You have lost your wallet and you said, okay, we will pay you money if somebody will find our lost or stolen goods. So that's a unilateral thing. Nobody is agree they will, but you have a promise. So if somebody will find or found, then of course, you have to pay the reward to someone. So that's a unilateral contract. We don't have a written contract, but you orally promise to rescue me. That can be just a fun. Okay. Any question? So under the contract, there need to be offer, there need to be acceptance, there need to be a consideration, there need to be legal binding, there need to be account capacity. So that's to create a legal contract. All these are the things we must have to find within a contract, is either written or oral. Any question? Okay, next we looking element which we are going to discuss. So that's contract, offer, acceptance, which will, okay. Have we heard about invitation to treat? Okay, like advertising, when we do advertising, that's invitation to treat. We are inviting you, can buy, we'll offer you this price. Yes, but it can be withdrawn that price. So anytime we can withdraw that price. It's not a contract until this is an invitation to trade. I will keep this car for you if you want to buy until that date. So now you have to give the offer, other party need to accept it and then become, otherwise it's an open invitation to trade. Does it make sense? So please, if any question, ask me. Contract law or any laws is sometime, a bit, some people like the laws, go in detail, but some people not properly like but it's daily life we need to be. Okay, next we're looking the system in UK. Court system in UK or EU. So first, civil and criminal. You will see on the left is a civil courts, and other side you will see the criminal courts. Okay, European Court of Justice is the top because the whole EU that make the legislation. Then in the UK we have a House of Lords, then the Court of Appeals. Then under the Court of Appeal, then have a Crown Courts, Magistrate Courts, those deal with criminal matters, and then High Courts, Queen Bench, Family Division, all the county court which give the county judgment, like if you fail, you become a bankrupt and you have a CCJs, it's called county court judgment. You can declare yourself as a bankrupt, so that can come under the civil laws. Small claim divisions, so that's are the, and the side is criminal court. And Employment Appeal Tribunal, these are come under the criminal as well. Sometimes some matters can be civil courts can be deals. Any question? So that is part of court system in the UK and EU. Okay. So public and private law, constitutional law, the working of British Constitution. It's covers such as the matter as the position of crown, the composition and the procedures of the parliament, and functionality of the central, develop and the local government, citizenship, civil liberties, and the individual citizen. So administrative laws cover the wide and the variety of the areas practice. So many different types of government legal procedures. So that's come under the administrative law. Any question? Administrative matters. Okay, that's all been explained. What's come under the civil law? What's come under the criminal law? Concern offenses against the states. States set the rules. You not follow it, that's the offense, and that's come under the criminal law. But the companies disputes between organization and individual, between individual to individual, that's come under the civil law. The purpose of the action, to preserve the order in the community by punishing the offenders. So that's, if they not follow the law, that can be a criminal. What other is the remedies to pay those being suffered? The parties, the prosecutor, are a defendant, normally between states and individuals, and the civil law is between individuals. Where is the action is heard? The criminal courts, magistrate courts, court of crown, but under the civil law, civil matters, it can be county court or the high courts. Standard are the burden proof. Yes, prosecutor must prove this is beyond the reasonable doubt, but this is the claimant must establish if the case is a balance of probability. So that's the comparison between. Any question here?
No.
These further being explained. Criminal law, distinction between the criminal and the civil liabilities, central and the legal system, the way the court is constructed, and the criminal is prohibited by the law. You're not supposed to do something. Criminal trial, the burden of the proof, convicted. That's all you know about the criminal court. Civil and criminal laws differ each other. So criminal jurisdictions, court jurisdictions, that's all about the court system being explained. Who can sit there? Magistrate court, different witness, then of course their lawyers can be, and the appeal can be heard. The crown courts. So all this is a part of, we need to look around, but we don't need too much details, but at least we need a good basic knowledge for this. Any questions?
No.
All been explained. How many? Really, you don't need to memorize everything, but just a matter of, like when we are court of appeal, 29 justice of appeal there, 3 judges normally sit together when they hire the matters, and they can look around in detail, then they can give their, views, all these matters. So House of Lords, it is a legislative role as one of the 2 houses of Parliament when they pass the laws, so that become a legal system. So civil laws normally is based on the cases. When the different cases will come, different scenario, case law can be become, and that can be used to be prove something. These are the different cases. European Court of Justice, they, of course, all the UK courts have to look around and follow the legislation. Outside the Brexit, it won't be EC laws. It's European community, that's laws in the UK, which is European Union law. All need to be followed, and the government always looking and following these legislation. So then we have an employment tribunal where we're looking the employment contract, like illegal dismissal. Everyone need to be give the contract, copy of the contract. Compliant can be compliant for unfair dismissal. We can't dismiss somebody without, I have a clear evidence. Question as a term of contract of employment, equal pay. Do we have a law equal pay where we work? So female, male, you're local, you're from working from abroad, everyone have an equal pay. Along your job role is equal, your role responsibilities are equal, you're supposed to get the equal pay. Appeal against the health and safety notice. Health and Safety Act 1974, which we will go through further lessons. So that can be, and that's come under as well. That need to be clearly in the laws. We need to be in the contract who will be responsible. Compliance about different discrimination. Discrimination against due to the color, due to the age, due to the gender. All this, is Discrimination Act that can be is part of employment. So, we're not advertising and not offering the job to those are ethnic background. Those are not born here. Those are foreign and dakhli. So these are all, this is here is the employment law. By law we can't. The rule of law is the main thing. Everyone need to follow. Any question?
No.
Okay. So we'll go back to and we look, what we covered up to now. And I'll go through the book. So some terminologies and the case laws as well. I'm not included today lesson, a lot of cases. Okay. So we learn about common law. Yes.
Yeah.
Law equities include the cases which we'll go through now. Common laws, remedies, damages. Damages mean the one party, suffered parties pays. Yes, the party who suffered the other party due to the action of the other party will pay damages to other party. The court practices and court system. So we discuss about civil and criminal courts and those, so they need a proof to settle the matters. Any question here?
No.
Okay. Types of business organization. Do we know the types of business organization? Sole trader.
Yeah. Limited partnership.
Sorry, yes, well done. Sole trader, partnership, and limited companies. All these, okay. Sole trader there is no real legislation. Anybody can start a business whenever they want to start, but as long activity which we are doing is illegal. Yes, otherwise there is no particular partnership. We have a Partnership Act 9 in the UK. We call Partnership Act 1890. So partner need to have a written agreement, their sharing ratio between them, how much loss or the profit they will be. So that's come under the Partnership Act 1890, which we'll go through. And the limited company, we have a Company Act 2006. Like in other countries, in India and various other parts, is Company Act 1984. But in different parts of the world is a different Company Acts we can follow if we working. So under the Company Act written the rules and regulations as well we have to follow. And the contract law deals with all types of the businesses. Is a sole trader partnership, all we have a contract. Yes. So what they are offering, what is the exception? So contract, what is a contract? Is a legal agreement. The contract is an agreement between one and two parties. Contract is mean offer, and contract need to be offer and acceptance should be there. Invitation to treat is an open offer, which is now no offer and acceptance happen. This is the invitation to treat, like advertising, like offering different prices, like the put the things on sale. That's the invitation to trade. If both parties offer and accept, and then it's become a contract. Intention to create, yes, agreement or the contract is there should be an intention to treat and legal binding and the legal contract. So term representation. So term gating factor. So discharge and the breach of the contract in the you're not fulfilling or not delivering the thing that come under the breach of contract, and that's a civil matter, and the civil matter goes in civil courts, and that's need to be paid the damages. International trade and exchange. Who said the international trade then? Is there any agreement for? Yes, it's all under international trade. It's come the contract again. Yes, so we can under the international trade laws as well, exchange rate, whatever we need to be agree before delivering the goods and services, and we can agree what in which currency we'll pay at the which rate. Exchange rate always varies, so we need that's why we heard about LC. Anybody heard about LC? It's called letter of credit. Hello?
No. No.
Have you ever heard about letter of credit?
No. No.
Letter of credit. In many countries, we don't know before, like nowadays is electronic, we can pay credit card, debit card. But what if we'll pay it advance, maybe they not deliver the goods. So for international trade, we can open our LC, it's called letter of credit, LC. We can open in our bank LC, and the buyer and seller can open letter of credit in their bank, and then our bank and other countries' bank, they can give the guarantee to each other. You deliver the goods, we'll pay you money. And to open the letter of credit LC, the banks normally charge their fees. So when we receive the goods, our bank can make the payment to other banks. And when we satisfy with the goods. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So if don't, there will be damages again, and the bank can charge, and they can pay to the other bank, because international trade works like this. So which will go through some examples as well, some cases. Any question here?
No.
Okay. I'll quick, show you the book. I'm going to use it. Sorry. Okay, anybody, any questions? So just 1 second, I'll show you books which I'll upload. So please, when you do your assignment and you write about the contract, what it meant by, so it's good to be go through these some cases you can include as well. Come on. Daniel, any question? Okay, so that's the book. So come on. So what I'll do, I'll upload this one as well. Okay, have you ever signed any contract? If you're working, you have a job contract, yes?
Yeah.
What sort of the things normally include in the, if you look at job contract, your own contract is always written your role and responsibility, yes?
Yeah.
Written what the employer will give you, how much holidays you will be entitled, and it shows, what salaries you will get. It shows health and safety. It shows, your promotions based on. It shows your how long that contract for. It shows what the employer is expectation and what your expectation. It shows the compliance procedures which as the employers we need to follow. It shows about the health and safety elements. So all these are part of contract. notice period, who can give the notice, how long the notice period will be. So that's all come under the contract laws, and that can be a contract. Even the marriages is come under the contract law. If somebody broke that contract, that can be other party is a 50% entitled to claim from their properties and assets. So that's all come under the contract law as well. Any question?
No.
So that is quite crucial that we understand the contract, because the contract have a lot of consequences in the long run. So it's quite, so in terms of you buy something and you want to return that goods, you need to look around the law, contract law. Okay, so that's every country have a contract law. Okay, it's quite good book. So you can, when you click here, that's your chapter 1, which is about the contract law, offer and acceptance. So when you go down, and you will see that some cases there, that's called case law. What's happened in the past? So you will see there. So council tenant was interested in buying his house, and he completed his application form and received a letter from council stating it may be prepared to sell the house to you in this price, and Mr. Gibson initially queried and purchase price and pointed out the path of the house was in a bad condition. The council refused to charge the price, change the price, and saying the price had been fixed taking into account the condition and the property. Mr. Gibson then wrote to and asking the council to carry on with the purchase as per application. Following a change in a political control, council may and it's decided to stop selling the council houses to the tenant, and Mr. Gibson informed that the council would not be proceed with the sales of the house. Mr. Gibson brought a legal proceeding claiming that the letter he had received stating the purchase price was an offer which he had accepted, and the House of Lords, however, ruled that the council had not made an offer. The letter giving a purchase price was a mere one-stop negotiation for a contract and amounted only to be treated as an invitation to treat, and it's the purpose of the simply to invite to make formal application and amounting an offer from the tenant. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
We can quote this sort of the cases like case between this and this and year. If you want to be just, even just take the screen print, you can. If you want to be like when you explain what is meant by invitation to treat, yes? You will see there all their advertising in an invitation to treat. Unilateral, bilateral contract we just discussed. So this is all about, if you look here, part 1, you can go through what's come under the contract. If you want to be use these pictures to demonstrate, you can as well. You can reference the book as well. Okay, an agreement, offer and acceptance, consideration, intentions, and certain, certainties, capacity. So certain will deliver the goods. Okay, so all this being explained here. What is meant by offer? What is meant by acceptance? What is a bilateral contract? Invitation to treat. So time scale, agreement, failure. So you don't need too much, but you can add 1 or 2 cases if you want to demonstrate and just explain. Acceptance, yes. So these all come under the part of contract. Intentions to create legal contracts. Capacity, what is meant by legal capacity, you will all been explained. What is minor, formalities, consideration. So term of contract, like we discussed. So in the all this, which we'll go through more in next lesson. I'll bring some contract. I'll show you, what meant by the term and contract as well. Actually, we'll show as well some contract. And then job contract, we'll go through more in terms of employment contract as well. All come because this is a part of when we are dealing unfair favor contract, which can be misrepresentation, what is meant by mistakes. Please go through a bit, you don't need too much reading, but at least you go through the basic terminologies. Yes?
Okay.
So any question?
No.
Okay. So today we just learn about the basic, what is meant by statutory laws, which mean the is called civil criminal laws, which is passed by the parliament. It become a law. That's a law, written law. Most of the UK law is common law, civil law, or the case law we normally say is based on different cases, and the new cases will come in the court. Court gives the ruling, and that become a case law. So when these other people can claim something, they can use those cases as a case law as well. So civil laws, they deal with the civil matter, that's between individual to individual, and the criminal laws between states and individuals when they breach of the legislation that was already passed. So we discuss about types of organization, and they have to be a contract law, all about offer, acceptance, consideration, invitation to treat is mean open offer, and the term those are written in contractual term within a law. Misrepresentation is not representing the true and facts figure, and the duties discharge and the breach of the contract leads to the damages which we just mentioned, and we can include any case there. So for the lesson, I'll a bit recap on the first one, and then we'll move to the second one. Consumer law, that is a sales good act, and as a consumer rights, what we have individual rights to claim something, so which we'll go through, and that's all come under LO2, and then we'll move to LO3, which is more purely employment laws, and LO4, which will go through monopolies like a company's, competition is important. So that's all today. You want me to do a bit quiz? You want to do quiz, or no, you will do next lesson quiz? Okay, what I'll do, we're not doing quiz today, but we'll do the quiz during our next lesson. So please, can we look the chapter 1 and chapter 2 from this book? Yes, that's all about the more contract laws. Yes, so please just go through the chapter 1 and chapter 2. Yes, any question?
No.
So we'll keep up to here for contract law today, and if any, please, I'll upload this recording as well. I'll upload this book as well for you, and I'll try to be 1 or 2 more books as well. So at least you have all, and you can use them in your background reading as well as for preparing assignment as well. You can add example from your own background, from your own experience as well, if you want, wherever you are in the part of the world. And Daniel, any question?
Sir, regarding the accounting assignment.
Just 1 second, I'll stop this and I'll discuss with you accounting. I'll stop recording. Okay. What is about accounting? I'm going to arrange. Can we arrange lessons tomorrow for accounting?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. About 12 o'clock
The UK time?
UK time, if it's okay with you.
Okay.
So yours will be around 12, 1, 2 o'clock. You okay? If you want, we'll do a bit lessons on accounting because we need to go through the, I need to explain to ratios as well and other your tasks, which I supposed to record, but I not managed to. And we can then go through lessons and then, of course, we'll finish our assignments.
Because I did the first task, the second not able to do.
Okay, no marking yours. If you want, I can show you. I'm just doing now. If you want to take the feedback, you can as well now. You did really good. I mean, it's a good start, but maybe we can add some examples. I'm just marking now yours. Accounting information, so we can discuss about. I'll send you some examples to embed, and you can add, some references.
Okay, because I wrote the full them, then again I had to make it to up to 600 words. My words were exceeding. Is it fine
Okay.
if
If your words are exceeding, so what you can do, you can include as much you want to be in appendixes. Yes, like when you're including any picture, like any picture about the comparison between financial and management accounting, like one little the picture that you can include the source as well. So that won't count towards words as well. Basically, it won't increase your words.
Okay. So like,
Okay.
for the first one, I should include like a chart or something.
Sorry.
For the first one, the management and accounting, financial accounting information, I can include a chart, right? For the difference.
Okay. Yes, that's fine, and which I'll go through because I'm just marking now. And describe international standard board, which you did, which is good. Your reference is well done. To discuss about advisory committee, and you included some reference. Well done. That's fine, yours. I mean, in terms of it, because it's your that's no harm. But if we can a little bit, I'll send you stuff, to be include. Okay. So that's only the pictures that go explain, a little bit about the financial accounting systems and the management accounting systems are just a picture. So that will address. And here we can include the source there. You didn't. And that's fine. Of course, accounting information and what which you already explained, different stakeholders, internal and external. So please, you can add any books reference will be fine as long accounting because I'll explain. And that's you're okay because you describe the role of international accounting. Are these regulatory or monitoring bodies, and they set the standards, and every company has to follow. So we can embed some examples, which is quite good. That's good. Your task is not bad, which is addressing the assessment criteria to make it a bit critical. So instead of just one reference, so maybe we can add it at least to each
Okay,
task.
like these one, the one you have marked as red, for there I need to mention the reference.
Yes, so this one, first of all, you discuss about the management accounting, yes?
Yeah.
So you learn somewhere this management accounting.
Yeah, from 2, 3
Of course.
cases.
So the cases are the business cases are the business books. So you can include the website name here, like a business case studies, uh, 2018, yes, and the full your link, which is you already included like a reference, with access date if you're using website. Well done. And information, so we can discuss about information, and I'll send you the slide which mean the information. If we have a information, it's become knowledge, and then we have a knowledge, it's become, then we can make the decision. So financial data, and I'll send you the slides now. Okay, so you can maybe include one or two pictures in it, and you can add the references called CMI or any other the reference as you want. Like you already explained, stakeholder, internal, external. So maybe it's good to be include the reference. Yes, any website. I mean, where you heard about, where you learn about. It can be ACCA website. It can be CIMA's website. It can be any other accounting council. That's fine, because this is a UCAN-R is a one that they call the International Accounting Standards website as well. World Banks and various others, they all publish the information. ACCA publish about the information. Kaplan, when you type online, it's come Kaplan, which is Kaplan is a publisher. They have their books and already been explained, ISB's accounting standards and things. Yes?
Yeah. So tomorrow at 2 o'clock we will have for the task 2 for accounting tomorrow.
Okay, your task 2, just 1 second. Yes, no, tomorrow 2 o'clock we'll do the lessons on business law. Yes?
Okay.
Before that we'll do a session on accounting.
So that's 12, right, for you?
12 o'clock, yeah?
Okay. So just send the link, okay?
So, because 12 your time will be 2 o'clock, yes?
Yeah.
Here will be UK. I'm going to really set up the lessons for you tomorrow. Recap session on assignment. And just 1 second. So your task 2 need to be more. I'll go through all the tasks with you as well.
Yeah, because problem for the task 2, the problem 2, it's related to the ratio. So I'll just go through the ratio and I'll do. But
no
the
problem.
problem 1.
Have you seen my template ratios online, which is on Moodle?
Yeah, I did. All the ratios are there.
Matter of you can pick any company's financial statement, and you can first explain what is meant by ratios. Yes, financial ratios, 1 or 2 author definition, and then you can pick any ratios you can calculate. And there's already formula there, like profit, gross profit ratios or various other ratios. Okay, so we want task 2, yes? So that was your assignment. Yes, I don't know what's happened with the recording. That was not appropriate. I mean, you can't really hear properly.
Yeah.
I try to fix the problem, but I can't.
It's okay. I'll just go through the slides and the formulas, because in that chapter, it's all about the formulas and the ratios.
Yes, no problem. We'll go through tomorrow, okay? So tomorrow lesson, I'll go through with you all, and I'll go through this bit and pieces with you as well. So task 2, I'll go through with you tomorrow.
Yeah, the problem 1 especially. This.
Okay, the following transactions. Wholesale toys. Say parent. Okay, no problem. We'll go through tomorrow these. Brilliant. Yes, that's fine. We'll go through, prepare the journal entries, original in the purchase, sale ledger, cash journal, prepare the journal ledgers, which we'll all go through tomorrow. Okay. So problem 2. Okay, now we'll go through the problem 2. Turn the page. Okay, that's fine. That's your expenses. says, and then okay, we have all, and we're supposed to calculate the ratio. So we can calculate the ratio. I think so. Ratios maybe you can calculate if you look,
Yeah,
the ratio formula,
formula.
which if it, then you can. If you can't, I'll go through with you as well.
Okay, so tonight what I will do is I will go through the formulas. In case if I don't understand, then I will ask you. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you'll do the problem one.
No problem. I'll explain you as well ratios, but if you go through the slide, also
Yeah.
you will get automatically because the figures are already there, just a normal division. And I'll go through with you. We'll prepare the balance sheet and all things. So I'll go through task 2 and task 1 if we need to readdress things, and then will be things fine.
Thank you.
Okay. Done. Great. You're working and working hard, and we all will be there then. Well done. Great. Carry on. And I'll speak to you tomorrow. Then I'm going to book the lesson for you 12 o'clock. Huh?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Have a nice time. Okay, Daniel. Good night. Have a sweet dreams. Your sleeping time. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.